I'm Chisom, and if you're new to this channel, I am a tech founder, I am a product manager, I am a wife, I am a content creator. It really just depends on what the conversation is about, right? I am also a Christian, and doctors have said that I have sickle cell. So I'm sure by now, right, you seen the title of this video, and it is what it is. I'm pretty much just taking you through how I manage my career in tech as a PM, and also living with sickle cell. Obviously, before I start, right, I'd just like to give a disclaimer, because what works for me wouldn't necessarily work for all warriors around the world, but this is what I've been applying to my life, and it's been really helpful to me. So yeah, I think the first way I actually manage my career in tech as a PM while living with sickle cell is I would usually just go for jobs that offer 100% remote job offers. And that's because if you live in Nigeria, you know the drill. You have to enter a bus, you have to sit in very uncomfortable chairs, the noise alone, then you could inhale a lot of things that are not exactly good air. You spend a lot of time in traffic. I mean, by the time one gets to the office after facing a lot of that, you'll be tired, right? And that's a normal person, let alone one who is living with sickle cell. So I just realized that when I used to work jobs that were not remote, I would just be really tired. When I get to the office, I wouldn't be able to give my 100%, right? Working remotely has just been the best for me, and that's because I'm a morning person. So when I wake up, like, my brain is on like hypercharged. That's when I get the most work done. That's when I'm able to really analyze data and all of those things that really I need to do as a PM. So I just go for remote job offers, because it's just better. I don't get to be tired. I'm working in my comfort zone. That is extra convenient for me, because sometimes the offices are not convenient. It's like they're either too cold, right, because of the AC, or the chairs are just not comfortable, and things like that. And ideally, like, a normal person can get back pain from sitting in chairs for too long, or sitting in some certain type of chairs, talk less of one who lives with sickle cell. So when I just weighed everything, it's like, remote jobs are better. So I would definitely always go for PM roles in companies that offer remote working remotely. So yeah, that's number one. Number two is that in my career, as you can see, right, I will typically always go for jobs that require brain work over jobs that require like physical work. And that's because obviously when you're living with sickle cell, you're usually more tired than others. There's always that perpetual tiredness. Like, your body is tired, but your brain, it can be on hypercharge, supercharged, whatever, but you're just really tired. So I just go for jobs. And luckily for me, I love working in finance, I love working in fintech, and so I'm where I actually have passion in. It requires me to do a lot of things with my brain, and I prefer that, right? That's where I work better than where maybe I need to be carrying something or walking up and down and all of those things. So yeah, that's one way I'm able to manage it. I as you can see, I'm a PM. I work with my brain and less with my body, if that makes sense. Another way I'm able to manage, right, is that I always prioritize work-life balance, to be honest. Yes, so I work when it's time to work, and when it's time to rest, I rest. There's that thing with remote jobs where you tend to always work outside work hours because you're in your home, right? Like, what's stopping you? different from when you're working in an office, and once it's this time you pack your bags and you go, and you know that okay, you're not opening your laptop until you get to work the next day. But it's not the same when you work remotely. So that conscious effort, I had to actually be very conscious about it, that okay, this is when it's time to work, this is when it's time to focus on other aspects of my life. So I would always prioritize companies that offer me good work-life balance. Of course, things can happen in the office where they really need your attention at that time, but it's different than when it's a culture that, even for things that don't matter, you're actually working outside work hours, right? So to be able to maintain a good balance, I keep work for work and I rest when I'm not working, or spend time with my family and just chill, right? So yeah, I think after that, right, surprisingly, one thing that I have done to balance it all is I normally wouldn't tell anyone about my condition. Now this is a very controversial thing, because some people are like, okay, tell others what you're going through, but honestly, like, naturally, that's not just me. I'm not one to really want to burden others with what I'm going through. And but even that aside, I've realized that there's this stigma when you tell someone, okay, you have sickle cell, and many of them just tend to think, automatically that this person won't be able to deliver, this person is weak, this person is incapable, all those kind of things. And it's like that's just an assumption, right? So naturally, I wouldn't like tell where I work, like, okay, this is what it is. But obviously this is out there right now, so I'm sure anybody that wants to know would know, right? But that's because over the years I've been able to, I have things to prove. Like, you think I can't deliver, here's what I've delivered in the past, despite it all. Like, and what I realize is that usually it comes as a shock to people when maybe if they find out later, because they already had something in mind, like a stereotype, or just a picture of what someone who has sickle cell would be like or act like, and things like that. And so just that stigma, I try to stay away from it. And I love cultures that don't even require me to tell them about my health status, because a lot of people are going through one thing or the other. They don't have to tell you before before you get your culture right. So as long as the culture, you have your days for taking your PTO, you're able to take your sick leaves, you're able to provide your documents from the hospital. They don't state what you're going through, but they just state, okay, this person should actually rest, or this person has been in the hospital, things like that. I love those kind of cultures, and I've been privileged to experience those kind of cultures, and it just makes you want to even do better. It just makes you at peace, right? So I think for me, it's a mental health thing. I really don't feel like I want anybody looking at me like I can't deliver. But right now it's out there. I mean, this video is out on YouTube, and that's because I have a track record now. So that's one thing I do. Surprisingly, some people might not sit down well with people, but naturally, to be honest, I've always been like a private person, so it's really not even really easy to open up about myself on a normal day than to open up about this to, like, strangers, right? So yeah, there's that as well. Then the last but not the least, of course, very obvious, I take my meds. Okay, that's not the last, but I take my meds. I'm very judicious with my meds, because for obvious reasons. If you're not feeling well, you take your meds to get better. So we have meds just to sustain us and everything, and reduce the frequency of crisis. So I'm very judicious with that, and that also helps. And another thing that has really helped me or that is very important in navigating my career and my health is, I'm really surrounded by really supportive people, right? I couldn't ask for a better husband, I couldn't ask for a better family, and a few other people that I know who are really supportive, and they're always there to lend a helping hand. I think it's really important as one who is living with this disorder to actually have people around you who care, no matter how little they are. Because coming from me, take it from me, I don't have so many friends, but the ones that I really do consider as family and friends, they really are very supportive and just help me get through times when things are tough, or when I'm not feeling too good and things like that. So that has been a major part in how I'm able to navigate these two different lives. Another thing, I think the last thing, which is really obvious, is I prioritize my health. In a situation where I see like something is beginning to actually take a toll on me, it's not within my capacity to just ignore, right? I would rather cut it off than keep dragging my feet, because at the end of the day is a person who is alive and well, that can achieve goals, that can work optimally, and that can do all these things. So I prioritize my health over anything. And I think last but not the least is honestly my faith, to be honest, has just helped me. I do not look down on myself at all because of this health condition, right? I still remain very ambitious. I still really go for what I want to go for. Although yes, I know my limitations, and I know the kind of things I can or cannot do. For example, I can't say I want to be the number one footballer, but I can be a founder in tech. I can be a principal product manager. I can manage people, right? Having sickle cell doesn't stop you from doing that. So you can still have goals, can still have ambitions, right? Even after taking into cognizance your disabilities, right? So I think for me, faith plays a major role. I'm just hopeful, thankful, grateful. I don't look down on myself. I'm not, or I won't lie to you that there are some times when I'm just like, I'm just really tired of all this, like why. But I've really gotten to a point where it is what it is, and I am hopeful, thankful, grateful, and yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I have talked so much. I need water. We actually are advised to drink like a lot of water, by the way. I think that's one bonus point. I drink a lot of water. In a day, I can drink like 4.5 liters of water. This bottle alone is like 1.5 liters. So I drink 3 of it a day. So that's another way I'm able to manage, my health. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, if you're a warrior and you're watching this video, and I would like to know how you actually manage your own life, your career, and just let me know. I'll be in the comments. So bye, guys.